This holdout is going to be our map here. This will be the choice of GLuck, no surprise. So two kind of surprise picks for them here.
Maybe the next one's Corsalo. They're going into the pattern here, but
Could be.
here we go. We're gonna see some crazy picks, possibly. I know Tesseron loves to play Rexar on this map. We did see Rexar once back in Super League, but that was the only time, and
Yeah.
we've never had Rexar since.
I mean, Rexar was released, you know, a few patches before this map was released, and Rexar had no place in the competitive meta. And then on this map, you could do a lot with Misha, and we saw that happen.
Well, Misha is the actual hero, right? And Rexar is the one that just follows her along.
I think that the team that did that was actually First Family, if I'm not mistaken, in Super League.
When
and
Sans was in there?
Yeah.
Oh.
If I'm not mistaken, it was a while ago now. But we're not going to see Rexar today, as fun as it would be, and as much as GLuck would earn new fans worldwide for that move. I don't think that is a reasonable choice given the state of the meta. Ballistix did ban Tracer to remove one of the powerhouses of Relic, very prevalent in the meta. We'll be doing that again. Remember, this was GLuck's map pick. They gave first ban to Ballistix.
Here, this is a map where you actually sometimes put Genji higher, because oftentimes the deflect can actually do so much damage when you're fighting for that boss most of the time.
Yeah.
And the utility helps so much. Of course, Hanzo's pretty strong too, but oftentimes Genji is the first one to be banned here. But this time around, because SCSC, as you mentioned, is one of the best Hanzo right now, gonna ban Hanzo first ban.
So they banned Blaze, or sorry, they picked Blaze last time. He doesn't serve the same role on this map in terms of space control. Can help control one of the beacons, but it's not really as effective because in order to fight over a beacon, you have to have a big rotation up. He's the solo laner. I think they're probably looking for a different solo laner in this case. You know, control mercenary camps, boss, for example. Those are things that he can do for you, but Greymaine's the stronger overall pick because he's just so good at wave clear and pushing in the 4-man.
And I think for Ballistix right now, they don't exactly know what GLuck is trying to do, so they are going with the safe pick of Morales. So I think we are seeing something here. Garrosh, strong front line with Morales
But
healing.
Morales, on this patch, she can't safeguard minions anymore, GLuck. That was her patch note for the tournament realm for this one. She can't safeguard minions. She was nerfed. Jokes aside, Garrosh and Morales means Garrosh theoretically never dies, safeguard infinite heals, but what does that do for you? What does it, you know, in the 4-man, if we have a strong wave clear hero, you could do a lot with this. You could push really hard. You have infinite resources to do so. But this is kind of a figured out pick, and it looks like GLuck again is trying to dominate the 4-man. What that means is we'll need to see another powerful wave clear hero. Hammer is, you know, what we saw last game. You know, that was paired with the Zarya, so it was super strong. Let's see what the plan is here.
Oftentimes, ooh, here comes Chromie.
So this is just to blow up the Morales.
And also pretty good against Garrosh, because burst damage works against that armor building.
That's right.
And one of the better maps for Chromie also. That trap build, I think, will be coming along, likely.
You know, I think that's pretty likely on this map, yeah. Stasis will deny you the ability to control the beacon as well. There's a lot of things you can do to buy time with Chromie while she's not even there with those traps.
So there's a slow, and then you get that skill reset with the time trap. ETC ban, of course. ETC was a big tool. And also Blaze. I was actually thinking of Blaze ban coming out for GLuck. Maybe they have something else planned.
I think Ballistix might run a more powerful... No, it's not gonna happen. Don't get too excited.
How'd you hear me?
But I think they might be looking for something a little bit more powerful, like a Sonya pick in the solo lane. Something that can bully Malthael maybe. But not with the Malfurion pick. A little bit less likely. Tyrael's still open as well. They banned the Hammer because this is pretty obvious that GLuck is trying to do some sort of cheesy, aggressive push. Look at Sans, or Overlord's face, formerly known as Sans. Here he's like, ah, they got me.
What is this? Cho'Gao Medivh?
No.
I have no idea what they're trying to do here.
I don't know, man. I mean,
look at his face. They have to have something.
Yeah, well, I mean,
crazy
we know that they're planning to do something like a hammer push, a Zarya push, maybe a Cho'Gall. Like that's very obviously the plan. But Zarya again, Vala. Okay, so
Vala.
basically the same thing we talked about. They need a strong wave clear. That's Vala. Zarya helps push. They've got Morales, so it's the impossible to kill Vala comp that we've talked about so many times. It's been around since forever, since before Zarya was even released. We've seen so many double support Vala comps where it's kill the Vala or bust. And it's very strong in the 4-man. Chromie's so strong against this if she baits out the shields early. But this is not a shock, right? It's the same kind of thing as Sergeant Hammer, just a little bit different of an auto attack hero that pushes. Doesn't have the same pushing power as Hammer, but a lot more mobile. Doesn't have to be in siege mode, can vault around and things like that. But it didn't work well for GLuck last game, and against a comp that's kind of specifically designed to punish it, I think it might even go worse this time. And now Ballistix could just look to destroy the top lane with something like a Malthael, Dehaka, not even out of the question, or a Sonya. And I think that's the direction they're going to take with this.
They push all in with Sonya can be a great tool again, but
there's
instead,
the Malthael. Muradin, just a standard tank, can obviously do a lot. Dive into the backline, especially once Zarya's out of the picture or if Garrosh is removed. I mean, say goodbye to anyone else who's alive. Morales and Vala are going to be his prey as he dwarf tosses in. Malthael will fight against either Zarya, who might rotate up to the top lane if the bot push is going poorly, or whatever 5th pick GLuck has in mind. Last game, they had Malthael as their sole laner. This game, it's going to be Zagara!
Oh
okay.
Man, the Chinese meta is here.
Alright. Okay, guys.
Against Malthael, a great pick against that laning.
I mean,
but let's just may have to switch lanes because of this now.
Yeah, we talked about this so many times about how if you want to win the matchup against Malthael, especially old Malthael before the rework, it's like we would always joke like maybe they should pick Zagara. Like where's Zagara fit into this? But basically they're trying to, I mean, smiles on the faces here. This is a kind of cheesy draft. They're basically trying to win both lanes super hard in the early game to snowball to where they win the game based off of their scaling advantage, their experience advantage, their having level 10 first, and just kind of snowballing the game. This is a snowballing map. Like, absolutely, make no mistake. This comp, if it snowballs, is very difficult to defeat. Just ask Roll20. This similar comp to kind of their style when they're playing this at BlizzCon. Not with the same heroes by any means, but a similar style of play where you snowball early and just kind of push the core and win. It can work well, but it's going to require a lot of early game coordination.
Yes, if they have to win both lanes and get that first Zerg wave, that's exactly what they're going for. They have to win the first one, or else they're going to fall behind. It's going to be basically like game 1.
Yeah, it's going to be
game
basically exactly
over.
the same.
Right after the first Zerg wave, if they lose that first one, if Ballistix hit 10 first, then laning fate is basically destroyed, and they lose that power so much.
So they're going to swap a little bit here for a second and hide it. If Zagara dies, it's so bad. But the thing is, this actually, had GLuck realized this would have worked so well for them. Actually, no, they did actually get the energy. Never mind, I just didn't see it on screen. This works well for them because they get the energy for Relic, so he's just going to push this super duper hard. Now, they're looking for a pick on the Zagara, but the thing is, even, she shouldn't die, like Saren's being careful. Oh, look at that potential dodge. Not going to happen. Okay, well, he does die. But anyways, even if he dies, the damage is done down here in bot, and they need to make sure they can match it. So, I mean, this is going to be in a few minutes. When Zagara dies, it's going to be much worse because the death timer is going to be longer. But if they can still do a ton of damage down here, it's not the end of the world. Especially because ammo doesn't exist anymore. Hooligans rotating around here.
Still so much damage, and Zagara going for that invest, looking for that long laning phase, possibly. They do have wave clear, and they do have the power from the bot lane, but if she ends up dying like that, she can't do as much siege damage.
She's going to do a lot of siege damage, but I think this game is not supposed to go long, so it's going to give her a bonus damage no matter what, but it's not necessarily the kind that I think is going to be required to win this game. Either way, Saron, just as long as he plays safe up here, despite the lane swap, is going to be doing okay. As long as they keep doing damage bot. If they're not able to do that, which they're supposed to be able to do, then Ballistix is just going to laugh their way to a victory here. Because again, now they've even brought Magi up for heals. They need to do more damage with this comp, which is way better than the comp that Ballistix has. They do better than what's happening in the top lane in order for this to be okay. Because Ballistix is swapping against them. And the race theoretically should go GLuck's favor, but they need to take risks. They need to push hard to make that happen.
And even trying to punish the Seron now. I don't think he has an escape out of here anyhow.
He does get taken out.
But
notice on the other side, like, GLuck actually gets this down like a second faster, but the positioning of Ballistix heroes on the other side was much safer. So nobody dies. And advantage Ballistix because they stay even.
Oh, but Murden dies to the fort for some reason.
I'm not sure what happened there. But
big mistake from Hooligan.
Yeah, but anyway, this is a huge win for Ballistix because they stay even in the early game. And this is exactly what happened last game. In fact, Ballistix took an even faster lead to 10.
At least Chromie soaked up some EXP, and SD did not die even once. So, and then can clear away from far range as a Chromie. It's not going to be the worst time for SD, but...
Oh my god.
Ooh.
If they had been a little bit more aggressive, no, he's not going to die, but if they had been more aggressive, he might have died. They push down towards the keep wall. I'm going to go take their camp now. We're seeing the camps traded at the moment with all these mini waves pushed. It's too risky to continue pushing forward. You could get ganked, you could get punished. It is actually going to be more standard build here for Chromie, by the way, with the reveal, the talons and stuff. The Dragon Breath at 7, or 5 in her case. So let's see how this plans out now with the beacons up. Ballistix has control. They're going to take this from looking where at least that's the attempt. They're going to try to force a fight because the comp of GLuck is not as good at fighting straight up. It's only good at pushing. Take this control, but they lose bot.
Ooh, there's a poke. Coming in, the sustain is real for that 4-man though. Greymane is trying to win against. It's going to be tough even as a Greymane before 10.
Yeah, exactly, because, you know, the summons here for Zagara do a lot. And as you can see, does back away before the rest of the members of Ballistix come down. By the way, it was still a pretty good trade for GLuck, who now has this camp pushing. Ballistix cannot say the same, and it's Azaria with nearly full energy, auto attack build. First wall dead, or sorry, first cannon tower dead, second one getting low. This is what GLuck is trying to do to get 10 first. Remember, they need to do that. Theoretically, they should be further ahead than they are now, but if they can still get 10 first, they can maybe make something happen.
So far, even with the two deaths from Zagara, they have been successfully destroying all the walls. Their camp timing is also okay. Hooligan made that mistake. I think that was a big key. They lost that momentum to steal and invade into the other side.
Yeah, definitely so.
Were they looking... stealing the beacon somewhat.
Ooh, missing that storm bolt. Doesn't get the beacon.
And Zarya is...
Again, yeah, this time the roaches even stay. Jungha misses his E there, so this is going to be controlled beacons for GLuck. Well, maybe not. Hooligan is coming down. Didn't see that. Jungha is playing with fire here. Hooligan's coming, but that Hydra is doing some damage. Good stun here. Body blocks are real! Saren's not getting over the side of the gate. Hooligan will get out this time? Nope, it's a trade. Still, I think worth it for Ballistix to make sure that those beacons are not controlled, but they're going to lose a fort for it. That's there are consequences to every action, and in this, against this comp, the consequence is this just pushes so fast, full energy Zarya, so you got the kill, you stop the beacon from channeling, but you lose a fort.
Because you know, GLuck, their mission is to get that Zerg wave. All you have to do is stop that from happening, and you hit 10. You buy time, that's exactly what you do. So they're going for the boss. They're risking this, and Ballistix should kind of feel where they are, because that's the only place that's not colored on the map.
They're rotating in. Saren's coming in as well. This fight, I think if GLuck loses it, might cost them the game. They are on the boss here. Here comes SC. He's standing on. He's taking too much damage. Boss control now. SC's dead. Blue Beetle is under attack here, but he survived so long. He absorbs so much damage. And look at Relic now, just doing a ton with that beam. It's turned on full energy, and he is a DPS now. He's not an off tank. And this is going to be the push for the one team fight. This is GLuck's opportunity to take a game in this series.
No.
This is exactly what they needed. Now they can win the beacons. They've got boss. Very important win here. And I can't believe SC was so aggressively positioned there.
SC was super going in, and Chromie was hitting a lot of the skill shots, but not enough damage at the time. When all GLuck had to do was to shield their teammates and stand on that circle. They got that boss too. Of course, clear it very early. This is still 6 minutes into game, not even level 10. But with that, they go on the team fight, and they are so close to that first Zerg wave.
Yeah, they are. And, I mean, all they have to do is force a fight again with 10 to grab that second beacon. Overlord's just going to clear this as he walks away. They're also going to grab this Raven camp really quick. And that's going to push bot very aggressively. Ballistix is trying to poke, but Relic's like, yeah, I'm fine. I've got Morales. And mostly full energy at this point.
Maw.
In fact, they're just going to force the fight to come to them. That's why they take Maw. They're going to force the fight to come to them while they push, again with this comp that's so good at pushing. Who cares about the beacon when you're already at 92%? As long as someone can hold it, Milky Way in this case, you're actually fine.
And you're making this push into, going into close to a keep, actually opening the wall.
Yeah. We do see the rotation back here from Jungha. He went to top to try to help get them 10. He's coming from behind. He wants to, as soon as they have Tormented Souls, to go for a flank move. GLuck trying to find him. Oh, this is risky by Jungha on Hooligan. Hooligan stays perfect. That is exactly how you rotate out of this situation. Let Jungha go. Hooligan dismounts everybody and walks away. Ballistix has 10 now. They kept their keeps alive. That's so critical. And GLuck did not get the Zerg wave completed. They're about to. But they bought time. Maybe try to just set up for a defense. If Ballistix can keep their keep here, they're kind of even in the game, and that means that they can absolutely come back now that they have 10.
This is intense for both teams. Ballistix actually in a big trap setup right now. GLuck, it seemed like they were going for that rotation fully, but they have built into a fully team fight right now with all five men pushing with the Zerg wave. Every single heroic for that team fight. There's a sand to delay.
All right, GLuck wants to win the game with this push. Ballistix has very little wave clear with only Chromie and Greymane. Obviously, there's a decent amount of wave clear between the two of them. But here comes the taunt, and Malthael is pushed out by the expulsion zone. Jungha does jump over though. Maw comes in. Not the greatest one, unfortunately. Stim Drone here as well. Tranquility trying to keep everybody healed up, but members are dying. This is exactly what Ballistix wanted. Relic very low, but still full energy. Not able to get the kills that he was getting last time though. 4 dead here. Ballistix will lose the keep, it looks like, or will they barely save it? Got the wipes, and now they can certainly come back in this game. Boss should be up fairly soon, and they're just going to go push this fort down as Garrosh, the last survivor, goes up top.
What kind of team makes a comeback like that into a team fight situation? So many stuff to go through, and if they still, with the extra damage from the wave, they were able to manage to actually get that zoned out. Got all the kills throughout all the shielding. It was really hard for GLuck. Actually, the Maw miss was a big one.
Yeah, that was
They
huge.
were trying to combo with the expulsion zone in a way, so Ballistix can't really engage. But that was a big miss that started off wrong for GLuck. And the team fight really started to fall apart right from there.
Yeah. Well, Hooligan now just trying to zone everybody out as they steal these caps. You can see his positioning is designed to prevent an invade, but gonna have to leave. He's already on his dwarf toss out of there. Jungha's gonna have to follow suit. Milky Way gonna grab this camp. So they have camp control on both sides. But the fact that the keep survived is massive because GLuck can't use this to snowball anymore. Zagara didn't take Nidus, so no way to backdoor that realistically. I still think this is the better choice to take Maw, given the comps. But that fight went every way that Ballistix wanted to, and that proves that their comp is better for team fighting, despite fighting with their backs against the wall. They're able to push it through against the Zerg wave, and the keep alive means that they have so many opportunities to continue to fight back in this game, take the next beacon phase. The boss is being contested right now. Tough for Ballistix to actually come in here, especially with Greymane top. But GLuck is respecting this. Remember, they have Expulsion Zone and Maw, so trying for Ballistix to try a heavy commit to the boss would be rough, but GLuck is playing safe. I don't know if safe's the right move here, though. Milky Way, you can see how little the armor does for him, as you were saying earlier, when the burst comes through.
Yeah. I love Chrome against Garrosh. Feels so good to burst all that HP, but GLuck, I think that what they have to do is really calculate their move when Malthael comes in, when Chromie does the damage. Which tool are we going to use against that Tormented Soul? Is it going to be Maw? Is it going to be the Expulsion Zone? Or is it going to be Taunt?
Yeah.
If we use that at the same time or missed, that's going to be a big one to lose. Here comes the Hooligan diving in.
Huge opportunity for a Maw here from Saron. Look at this positioning here. He could get the choke here. Doesn't actually drop it. He's on the retreat right now. Relic with nearly full energy doing a lot of damage. Maw comes through, only hitting Malthael. Milky Way has that armor, survives here. Overlord helps them retreat. I feel like this game is quickly running away from GLuck, though. Now the camps are pushing against them. I think GLuck's best opportunity to use their comp to win a fight was right at boss there, where Grayman was top defending. That was the best chance I think they were going to have to win a strong, committed fight. Moving up with the double stun here means they're going to get up to 20% before this is contested. And they still haven't dealt with the bot camp. Ballistix has no catapults against them because they saved that keep earlier.
There's a 5v5, but lots of safety tools used for GLuck already.
Milky Way does have that armor.
SD doing some poking damage from the side. All they have to do for Ballistic is delay that, as you mentioned, Kakamp is pushing bot.
Yeah, and the bot beacon is taken, so they're going to get the beacons channeled now. Ballistix has taken an experience lead massively now, a whole level. And they're going to collapse in here to look for a fight. Blue Beetle needs to make sure he is very far back with Overlord. Milky Way has to do the tanking.
They can't deal with the camps at all. They have to really push in. They're going to lose the beacon.
Yeah, Maw, 10 seconds. That's going to be a huge factor. They can pull it up here. They just want this beacon to never finish. They're never going to win the beacon, but if they can prevent it from finishing, they can maybe win a fight and just push core. Their comp is so good at that. I think they need to be decisive here. They're being so indecisive. Look at their movements on the minimap. Start going right, start going left.
Ballistics knows this because they have to move at least as a 4-man or a 5-man.
Yeah. Zagara's been shown.
Yeah, all they have to do is go around the map and take the beacon. And delay that as long as possible.
Hooligan, again, the MVP, pushing himself forward, making sure no one can come in and delay us. Beacon's 100-0 now. Looks like that keep in the bot lane may never go down for Ballistix this game. And GLuck had to fight. They had to be decisive. They split themselves up and took a camp. They took a half measure, and that meant that Ballistix was able to take beacon and will likely push to end here because GLuck just doesn't have the tools to team fight defensively behind keep. They have the Maul they can use if they get a good angle, but Ballistix is always just going to be split. Expulsion can't push anything, and they have the Zerg Wave to work with as well. So the keep is just not a factor here.
It's going to be gone no matter what. If they lose any of the members, it's going to be core.
Oh, definitely. And it might be core even if they don't. Expulsion Zone is used here with the taunt. Jungha, is he going to survive here? Tormented Souls does help him stay alive for a while. He does get taken out there eventually. The Maw is good. This is an opportunity here for GLuck. They need to capitalize on this now. Overlord in a bad spot here. Ice Block going to keep Malfurion alive. And this just may be the beginning of the end now for GLuck. They had a good fight potential, but it was just all ruined here. Zerg Wave on the core. Milky Way, so much armor, even taps the health pool, but there's no way to stop this push now. SC is on the core with it. Going down very rapidly, 25% here. That is going to be game number 2. Going to Ballistix. Not in a one-sided fashion like we saw in game 1, because GLuck was able to take an early lead with the composition. Not as early as they would have liked to, obviously, but they made it happen. GLuck seeing the power of these Zarya comps, but it's just you have to be more decisive and you have to get more value. And for Ballistix, I feel like this is kind of like old news. This might have tripped up Feliz, might have tripped up even a team like Miracle, for example, but it's not going to work against Ballistix.
Yeah, especially after taking that Maul. If you take that Maul, you have to win team fights because your initial plan was to rotate out and take those beacons, win over with the Zerg Wave by taking over those beacons all the time. But after 10, they chose to do team fight instead. I was super surprised, and they had some tools to counter all the things that Ballistix had, but they were chased oftentimes using it as a defensive tool. They never won the team fight. They were getting out-rotated with that Maul. Without the Nidus Network, they can't really have the global. Ballistix took that advantage, and they were out-rotating instead.